Welcome back to Linfin's Cocktails. Tonight I wanted to bring you 3 Japanese springtime cocktails that really showcase some Japanese spirits and liqueurs. Tonight we're going to use some gin, sake, and some homemade umeshu from one of my coworkers, Hamano-san. It's from her family's farm. It's aged for 5 years and I'm super excited to use it. Our first drink for tonight is going to be a Saketini. So for that, we're going to use our gin and we're going to use our sake and a little bit of lemon bitters. So let's go ahead and get started. For this drink, we're going to need our mixing glass, our jigger, our spoon, and a hawthorn strainer. So to start this off, we're going to need 2 dashes of our lemon bitters. We'll need 1.5 ounces of our sake, 2 ounces of our yuzu gin, and we'll just crack some ice. For our mixing glass, drop a few extra rocks in, and then we'll start stirring. We're going to give this a good stir for about 25 to 30 seconds. Make sure everything's nice and mixed and chilled down. Because I'm using such high quality clear ice, it's going to take a little bit longer than usual, but I think it'll mix down nicely and taste delicious. I already see a ton of condensation getting on the side of the mixing glass. Maybe it won't take longer than I thought. Probably work on my silent stirring since it's our Japanese cocktails, but you know, who knows. I think we've got enough chill and dilution here. Let's grab our martini glass and strain it on out. I'm gonna garnish that with 3 olives. You can use cucumber as well, but I really dislike cucumber. All right, cocktail number 1 is our Saketini. Let's go ahead and give this a try. I've tried a lot of Saketinis here in Japan, and they've been a mixture of gin and sake, vodka and sake and shochu. I think this comes together pretty nicely. Those lemon bitters that I put in really help bring out the citrus flavors of the yuzu gin and a little bit of the brightness from the sake. Tastes pretty good. As a person who's had maybe 1 too many sakes a few nights, I would definitely say this is gonna be a strong cocktail. A mixture of 100 proof gin and some sake is definitely gonna knock you out, so you might wanna limit how many of these you have, but you know, have fun, drink responsibly. Let's go to our next drink. Our second drink tonight is gonna be a sake-based mojito, but instead of mint, we're gonna use these nice shiso leaves, and instead of lime juice, we're gonna use yuzu juice. It's gonna be pretty easy, and we're gonna build it right in our glass. We're gonna start by putting some shiso leaves in the bottom of our glass. Grabbing our muddler, giving them a couple nice pats, really express those flavors. I've never had this before, and I'm excited to try it for the first time on the channel, but I've heard that there's a fruity, appley almost taste from the shiso leaves, along with sort of a mintish flavor, so I'm really excited to see what it actually tastes like. We've got that a little muddle. Let's go ahead and add the next of our flavors, 3/4 ounce of our yuzu juice. Then we're gonna add 1/2 ounce of our honey syrup. And now that we've got a few more things, I'm gonna go ahead and give us another little muddle, 2 ounces of our sake. With everything in there now, we're gonna take our mixing spoon, really kind of mix things up in there. Then we'll go ahead and drop in some ice so we can start to get this chilling down. For our final step, we'll just top it off with some soda water. Give this a little stir, really get all the things mixed up. For our garnish, add a nice big shiso leaf. Let's try our sake mojito out. So yuzu is definitely a really bitter fruit, and in 3/4 ounce, there's no denying it's bitter, but it's also really tasty and complements the sake really well. The addition of the honey syrup does really help to kind of tamper down some of that extreme bitterness, but it all comes together pretty well, and I think the shiso provides a little bit of brightness to it, and it's pretty tasty. I think this is going to be a great drink, and I'm probably going to have a few more of these. Our final drink tonight is going to be a gin Umeshu Sour. I'm pretty excited to make that because, as I said, I'm using some 5-year aged homemade umeshu, and I'm pretty excited because it tastes really good. So for this, we're going to need our little Japanese shaker. Our first ingredient is going to be 1/2 ounce of our honey syrup, 3/4 ounce of fresh lemon juice. We're going to use 1 ounce of our umeshu. Umeshu is really sweet, so definitely be careful in the amount of syrup you use, but I think this is going to be a good mixture. And we're going to finish this up with 2 ounces of our gin. Drop in a few blocks of ice. Give it a shake. Let's give us a good shake for about 8 to 10 seconds. Get it really mixed up to enjoy our final Japanese spring cocktail. And we're gonna strain it into our coops. Because what else will we do? Because this is a Japanese cocktail, let's go ahead and put a large block of ice standing straight up in our big coupe. And now we can just strain our drink on in. And we'll garnish with a nice pretty flower. I think a lot of people really don't like the big rock of ice in a coupe glass, but I think it's beautiful, especially in these large, extremely wide Japanese coupes. But let's go ahead and give it a try. So I won't lie, the plum umeshu flavor really steals the show here, and it really comes through super strong. But it's backed by all those botanicals from the gin, and a little bit of the citrus from the lemon comes in. Kind of, the honey honestly gets a little lost, but this is really tasty. This umeshu is delicious. The gin paired with it is great, and honestly, it's really refreshing. Try this one out, trust me, let me know what you think. Leave a message in the comments on what you think of umeshu. If you have any great umeshu cocktails, please, I'd love to know. All right, so we've made it through making our 3 Japanese springtime cocktails. So once again, we have our Saketini, a good mixture of sake, gin, a little bit of lemon bitters. We've got our sake mojito, which is the shiso leaf, the yuzu, and the sake. A lot of sake, I know, but it's so good, and I hope everyone tries it more than in a warm cup at your local sushi bar. So I'm trying. And then finally, we did our Umeshu Gin Sour, which was really delicious, and honestly, I think stole the show of these cocktails. If you liked the video, please like and subscribe. Cheers, and I'm gonna enjoy the rest of this drink.